The only time I do not put Vaseline on is I am 39 and a half. And mind you, I've been wearing non-water resistant tinted sunscreen the entire day and just went grocery shopping in a humid 91 degrees. So things are a little messy right here, but other than my chin hairs, I think I'm doing pretty good for 39 and a half years. Some of the things I do are probably going to click with you instantly, and some of them might make me sound crazy, but it's obvious: sun protection. I think we all know the importance of sunscreen on the rest of our face, but a lot of people don't use adequate sun protection for their lips. Now, for years, I used lip balms that had SPF ratings, but an SPF rating that only indicates UVB protection, and UVA is the one that you need to be more worried about. Unfortunately, in the United States, we only have 2 ingredients that protect from UVA. There's avobenzone and there's zinc oxide. I personally don't have confidence in the stability of avobenzone, even when combined with other ingredients such as octocrylene, so my choices are further limited because zinc oxide is pretty clunky. And zinc oxide lip balms tend to be very dry, don't go on easily, tend to be chalky and pasty, and if they're not tinted, they're usually white. Personally, I want my sunscreen, whether it's on my lips or the rest of my face, to have some sort of tint or cast so that I can see every millimeter that's being covered and make sure they're not missing any spots. What I'm currently using is a zinc oxide based balm by Babo Botanicals. It's, in my opinion, kind of drying. It's the best thing I can find in my price range right now. Most of the other things I do boil down to the fact that repetitive movements lead to lines and wrinkles. So I very rarely breathe through my nose. I try to always keep my mouth slightly ajar because if you completely use your lips, you are engaging muscles that are going to create lines. The relaxed position of your mouth has your lips slightly ajar. I'm also very careful what I use for drinking implements. You probably have already guessed that I do not use straws, but I also do not use the mouth of an ordinary water bottle. The mouth of an ordinary water bottle is so small that you have to purse your lips to a degree in order to drink water. So if I have a bottle like that, I'll pour it into a cup. I'm also very discerning about the diameter of cup that I will use, because if a cup has a very wide diameter, that's going to be creating distortion in this area when you try to put it up to your lips. It's the same thing if the diameter is too small. The correct diameter will vary depending on the size of your mouth. I would just see what feels the most relaxed to you. The water bottle that I use for the gym has one of those little nozzly things, so I take the cap off and drink out of it like a cup. When I eat, I do not take very large bites because if you have a lot of food in your mouth, you're going to have bulk around this area and pushing out against the skin. Again, this is something where I'm sure I sound crazy, but it's worked for me so far. Maybe coincidence, maybe not. I also minimize the amount of drinking I'm doing in the first place because you don't actually need to get your water from beverages. You can get it from the food you're eating, and that's especially easy if you're eating a whole food plant-based diet. If you have functioning kidneys, the amount of water you need is far less than what you probably think you need. Unless you're thirsty, you don't need more water. Thirst is your body telling you need water. There's also the myth that your pee should be clear, or I know this is kind of gross to talk about, but any water diluting the yellow in your urine is excess water that your kidneys are getting rid of because you don't need it. There's the caveat of if you're taking something like a diuretic, that's going to change the situation. But for the most part, extra water in the urine is water that you don't need. I do as little gum chewing as I can. Usually I'll put a piece in after a meal or at the gym, and I'll do just a few chews to get the teeth cleaning properties of it, and then I stop. Excess motion that you do not need. This one's going to be very controversial, but I avoid kissing as much as possible. That's pretty easy given that I haven't had a boyfriend since 2013, but still, I might give my cat a smooch on the head, but what will be the final tip for now is probably the most crazy sounding, but I have been doing it for the last 20 years and it doesn't seem to be hurting me. I'm careful about what letters and sounds I use when I speak. To give you a general idea, I will tell you the letters of the alphabet that I don't have an issue saying. I basically try to avoid things that require me to put my lips together or distort the shape of my mouth in any way. So the letters I prefer are A, E, D, E, G, I, J, K, L, S, T, X, X, Z. There's also the issue of moisture. Moisture is important because it plumps up the skin. Plumping lessens the appearance of any lines or wrinkles. I use Vaseline on my lips right before I brush my teeth. I don't have any scientific evidence for this. I just think that if you're moving around and stretching out skin that is parched or dry, you're going to cause more damage. So that's why I like to moisturize before I brush my teeth. Then I put on more Vaseline after to seal in moisture, because allowing water to evaporate actually causes further dehydration through something called capillary action. This is the same reason I put Vaseline on my lips as soon as I get out of the shower. I put Vaseline on my lips right before washing my face, and then again right after washing my face. I put it on before I take my retainers in and out. I put it on before I go to bed because skin is especially susceptible to moisture loss during the night, especially if you have air conditioning on. I put Vaseline on first thing in the morning. I put Vaseline on before I'm going to do a lot of talking, unless I have another lip balm on. The only time I do not put Vaseline on is if I'm outside and have a sun protective lip balm on. I don't want to be interfering with that. A lot of times I'll just accept having dry lips while I'm outside, but ideally I would have another sun protective lip balm that was moisturizing that I could put on to add moisture while I'm outside. It's just that, as I mentioned before, a moisturizing zinc oxide lip balm is really a unicorn if you have a budget of any sort. If anything here helped you, entertained you, please do give me a like. I'd love to hear what you have to say in the comments, and if you'd like to subscribe, we would love to have you. Thank you for watching. How beautiful are you? You're so pretty.